Hello and welcome to a Taylor's Tales podcast. This is Chris's Corner. I'm your host, Chris Taylor, and welcome back to a brand new episode. And I've just got three things to say. God bless our troops, God bless the United Kingdom, and gentlemen, let's get this podcast started!
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your
I've always wanted to do that. The Kevin James meme is alive. I've peaked. That's it. The podcast is over. I'm out. See you later. Close the door.
Run away!
It can only go downhill from here. But welcome to a Taylor's Tales podcast. This week I'm going to be talking about a few things. Of course, we've got to talk about the Christmas season. Next episode will be a Christmas special. It will be released on Christmas Day. I will not be recording it on Christmas Eve because I will be with family and friends and I'll be enjoying myself. So it will be pre-recorded in a few days' time.
You want to know what I do when I'm sad or scared? Because I'm not a fucking pussy.
And the other two topics will be Alan Ritchson playing Reacher in the newest season of Season 2, Reacher Season 2, and there'll be spoilers for that, by the way. And I'll also be talking about the newest episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. Also, major spoilers coming in. I didn't say this in the last episode, but if you listen to this podcast by now, there will be spoilers galore in everything I ever talk about. Period. Life. General. Spoilers into how to get better in life. I'm spoiling your future by telling you how to get there faster.
Let me just tell you, I'm not going to be a spoiler. I'm not looking for any spoilers. I would never be a spoiler for anybody, and I don't agree with that the analysis that they've come up with.
So it's the efficiency method of, oh God, he's going to spoil it. He's going to spoil the unknown. It's no longer scary and voodoo and all that shit. But yes, let's start off with Alan Ritchson playing Reacher. Reacher, I think, is the perfect role for him. He's obviously built for this shit. He's born for this shit. He is a massive 240 pound. I think he said the maximum he got up to in terms of weight in one of his latest interviews was that he got to 260 pounds for this role, and he dropped, I think it was somewhere around the 240s, but insane amount of weight. Obviously, he's already admitted to taking testosterone replacement therapy to be able to keep that mass on and to be able to maintain his energy levels at the same time. I think that's totally valid. He's very open about it, very honest about it. He's also genetically just gifted. If you look at the man's history and the previous roles that he's played, whether it be in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and
Cowabunga! I made a funny!
other roles in his early career as well, you can tell he's just a genetic monster. Even if you look at him in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where he plays one of the duo of the cops.
Take my breath away. Take my breath away.
Of their previous selves when they were good looking and handsome, is that he's just jacked there. So the fact that he went on testosterone replacement therapy and he put on an extra 20 pounds of muscle, that makes so much sense. The dude is just built different for it. I don't even think he doesn't look either like he's taking, let's say, Tren or let's say Debo, Annabelle, like any of the extras that you would add onto a cycle for this sort of role. He doesn't look like it, you know what I mean? Like there's certain sort of, if you look at a person when they're taking high amounts of steroids, you can kind of just see within the person's skin alone, just by the look of them, the vein in their arm, like the size of their abs, like the general puffy redness in their face, where it gets to the point where like it's as if their blood's just like coming out of their face. Like, oh! just whoa. And it is, I mean, good example would be the Liver King, Maiko Tren. Like, these guys just look like the fucking skin on their face looks like it's about to come out with roids. Like, there's just, the muscles are there. But back to Alan Ritchson, like, he, as well as talking about him playing Reacher in the latest, I've watched the first 3 episodes of the newest season, I've watched the whole of the previous season, and I'm also listening to the book for The Killing Floor, by the author of Reacher, and I've totally blanked on his name, of course I do, but he's written a fantastic audiobook, and a fucking audiobook, Chris, you're listening to it, you're not fucking reading it, Jesus. Are you retarded?
I think she's right, you are retarded.
Yes, this is, the audiobook I think is fantastic, and I think that actually, this is one of the rare cases where the TV show is better than the book, which to me shows how good Alan Ritchson is in Reacher and how well developed and well filmed and well crafted the storyline is for Reacher, the TV show. Because it does feel, if you're listening to the audiobook and then you watch the show, which I did, I watched it and I was just like comparing the two, and I just thought the book feels super slow paced in comparison to the TV show. Obviously, you're packing a lot more detail into a lot more events into the TV show within the short period of time. But there's something really exciting about seeing a series for once where it's original, it's coming from a adapted screenplay. It's really interesting seeing how the version of Reacher on TV is actually a lot more sort of realistic in comparison to Tom Cruise's version, which is no offense to Tom Cruise, he did a fantastic job in both of those movies because those films were good as well. Like, they weren't amazing, they're not anything in comparison to Alan Ritchson's Reacher, in my opinion. I think Alan Ritchson's Reacher is an 8 out of 10, like maybe even a 9 in the newest version. There's just something about the new season as well where I thought to myself, how are they going to top the previous season? Like, how are they going to top the pacing of the first season, the intrigue behind what's going on, the mystery? And they've done it again, where you go into the first 3 episodes and you're thinking, you've got that skeptical vibe to yourself, I'm not even, I'll put on the first episode, see what's going on, see if it's as good.
Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
And it's just straight back in, boom. Like, the first thing you see, a person's body flying from a helicopter into the snow, crash land, crack, boom, onto the floor. That's the first thing you see in the series. Once again, replicating the first season's intrigue with murder and mystery. And it brings that back in. And I think there's something fantastic about that just grabs the audience right off the screen. Just like, come on, get in here, get in, and you're going to watch, you're going to stay. And it's the same with the other episodes as well. If you keep going forward with episode 2 and 3, the momentum just keeps going forward. And it's hard to do that with a good show. It's hard to keep the audience just wanting more. And I got to episode 2 and it was just like I wanted to blitz through it. And by the time I got to episode 3, I was like, damn, I have to talk about this series because it's just so good. How on earth? And they are filming a season 3, thankfully, which has been confirmed by the studio and by Alan Ritchson himself. And it's just fantastic to see now. Creativity. Look, Hollywood, this is it. Create something new with maybe an unknown actor and create a character that's going to be interesting and is going to have a world open to you that's going to intrigue the audience, and it's going to be mysterious and new and different characters and different ways things could go. And we all love a hero. We all love the fact that the Reacher can literally kick a car and it sets off the airbag and smacks the police officer in the face and basically breaks his nose.
What's he think he's gonna do?
And this is what you're looking for in a series, where characters like that, you're like, this is badass, I'm rooting for the protagonist, he's basically nigh indestructible, and he's gonna find out what's going on. And it's not just the fact that he's the main character and therefore he's invulnerable, there's also the fact that the storyline, even with him being invulnerable, all of his side characters have the ability to die at any point. which I kind of love. Obviously, with it's almost like taking it back to those comic book era where, like, obviously the main character is always going to survive, but the storyline still can be really tough around him, and people he loves dies, and people think things go on that's going to really affect him, and the mystery and the bad guys are really bad, and it's just, yeah, sometimes you can make the environment around a character just as interesting as the fact if you were to kill off the main character or do something that was going to be kind of a little bit of a cliffhanger, or how would you say, a little bit more devious I am I devious? Yes, I am.
Am I devious? Yes, I think I am.
So I think Alan Ritchson as well talked a lot recently about how he talks about the negative side effects of playing the role as well. So in the previous season, he talked about how he did 6 days a week on set for this show, and they did it back to back till it got released, which is insane. And thankfully for this season, he was able to do it at a little bit more slower pace, didn't have to work 6 days of the week to be able to get it done, which, like, you think about that, like, if I was told by my office that I'd have to come in and do 6 days a week for a job and work long hours, I'd be like, get fucked, I'm out. Just put on the Aussie accent saying, "There's not having any of that shit, fuck you, I'm out, cunt."
Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
And like Alan Ritchson, when he talked about that, like, you gotta be a strong-willed dude if you're the main character and you're around 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. Like, that's madness. So a lot of commitment for the role, and him talking about his mental health during that period of time as well. Previously, before the show, he didn't have a lot going on and had some serious ups and downs, and I love the fact that he talks about that both on his own social media, but also talks about it in Michael Rosenbaum's Inside of You, presented by Michael Rosenbaum. And he talks about it recently in his newest interview with Michael as well, where he was saying the negative side effects of putting on that sort of size, 240 pounds, is that he went for a run and he really struggles. Like, his breathing's bad, he's struggling with his cardio, and this is the facts. Like, people don't talk about this enough unless you're in the bodybuilding industry, in which case you know about it very well, is that when you get to that sort of size, life becomes pretty difficult when it comes down to cardio-based things, which is basically all of life. All of life, you're either walking, you're moving, you're going places. That's going to use some sort of cardiovascular system, which is why I'm so emphasizing to people to do cardio and to do some form of cardio. And I will say it over and over and over again. This is why I do running 3 times a week, is why I always emphasize that while I do weightlifting, cardio is just as important, and it is two sides of the same coin. You have to have both. You can't have one without the other. They have to be balanced, because otherwise you're going to be really struggling later on in life as well, and you're also going to see the side effects pretty quickly when you're climbing up some bloody stairs as well. And you're going to see kids running, when you have kids and your kids are just sprinting off and you're like, fucking can't even, just dying. It's not going to be fun. And I've seen it firsthand as well with family members in my side of the family as well. And it's not fun to see, and you just feel bad, and you don't know what to do. So I would always say is to pass on that, information. Alan being brave enough to say, like, look, I'm doing this for a role, but I don't think it's probably healthy for me to be this size, and it's probably not better for me to be able to not do cardio and not get to the point where I'm at. Because he's talking about, he's eating 4,000 calories to be able to maintain his weight, which actually, now that I'm on a bulk myself, isn't a lot in comparison to what I thought he would say. 4,000 calories a day to maintain his body weight. I'm at 90 kilograms right now, and I'm eating 3,500. So it's kind of interesting to see how the bodies work in terms of burning, calories and stuff along those lines. It's different for different people, and it really does make me interested in how the body works with how they deal with extra energy and extra calories. And calories is energy, but same thing. It's like me saying the same thing twice, but nonetheless, I think everyone's different. So you've got to find out your own way. This is why I'm not going to give you some cookie cutter I love that phrase by More Plates, More Dates. No cookie cutter guide.
Oh, son of a gun. You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you?
To you getting into shape or learning how to do nutrition, you got to figure out for yourself, because everyone's different. Like, there's a general gist of what you can do, but apart from that, you've got to be able to figure it out on your own. And this is why I'm very much against personal trainers, because you're not going to have someone by your side all the time holding your hand going, "You're gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay." No. Shut the fuck up, get to work.
Stop being a bitch and come on.
And back to Alan. I think also something that he's really interesting about is how hard he works for those. As I said, the 6 out of 7 hours a day, 6 out of 7 days a week is really interesting. And then seeing that in the new series where he's got just as much size and he's just as good in the acting role for this. It's very impressive to see that. And so, yeah, go watch if you haven't. Season 2. I've tried there not to talk too much about the storyline because I want you to just go in without really any sort of idea of what's going to happen. I've already spoiled like the first part of the episode, but let's be honest, you're not going to care. Like, as soon as you see that first bit, you're going to be like, I'm in, I'm ready to rock and roll. So go from there, go watch Reacher, and I promise you won't be let down. It's on Amazon Prime, and Amazon Prime better fucking give me a subscription out there.
Pay me my money!
Well, I'm sure my people will be
in cash.
Where's my advertisement money, motherfucker? TikTok, motherfucker.
TikTok, motherfucker.
Anyway, moving on to, of course, Jujutsu Kaisen. Fucking talking about this. I was so excited to talk about the past 2 episodes. I've held my tongue. It is here. The past 2 episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen have been fucking phenomenal. Like, absolute. How are they, time after time, with the animators on strike, like with all the bad things that are going on at MAPPA, still managing to put out banger after banger after banger of an episode? Just without fail, these guys are pulling it out of their ass, pulling the Shibuya arc into the air and going, fuck yeah, this is how you do good animation, and suck my dick, I'm getting paid nothing for it. Like, this is what MAPPA animators are doing right now. They should be like, there's a round of applause, the whole staff, the crew, everything. As someone who's seen behind the scenes of how much work gets put into an animation, what would you call it? Like, almost like a software sprint. I'm putting it into my terms right now because I understand what a software sprint is in my opinion. It's almost like multiple software sprints organized into one together, like a nice arc.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
And, there's so many people, and there's so little credit given to those people in the background, and so little money, clearly, and time as well. It's kind of so sad to see that there's these troubles going on when we're seeing such high quality coming out of that studio with such high quality characters, bringing back Todo into the storyline with his absolutely bombastic characteristics of clap. And it's just boom, he's in, and he's like, my brother, I am back to protect you from this mojito motherfucker. He's so cool. It's like when Vegeta's like sat there singing, bro, like, oh my god, he's so cool.
Broly is
a genuine demon? A true freak?
The devil.
Oh my god, he's so goddamn cool!
It's just literally the same thing. And I was just watching So the latest episode I literally just watched yesterday, and the one before that I watched about like a few days ago as well. And it's just so cool seeing Itadori get to the point where, and by the way, I was screaming at the laptop like, Itadori, you fucking pussy, get the fuck up, get the fuck back up right now, you don't let Nanami die for nothing, you pussy, like, get the fuck up. Like, it's just, I was just like, you dare crawl up into a ball when Nanami died for your sins? I was just like, I was having none of it. Get the fuck up! Get the fuck up! I don't like characters who feel sorry for themselves. There's nothing worse. So I loved it when Todo came in and he was like, brother, you can do this. Get up and join me on my passage to defeating this monster. It's like, there's so many characters out there in the animation industry, but for Todo to come in with his brotherly love and to, like, later in the latest episode, turns out that the bell that he's wearing around his neck contains photos of Itadori and then his waifu. It's just so good. It's like, who thought of this? The creator of Jujutsu Kaisen clearly has a funny sense of humor. Like, he has a reality check of, like, there's clearly someone who's inspired this character, and he's just, like, brought him to life, and it's brilliant. Like, there's nothing that makes me happier than seeing a character like Todo come in and be absolutely so powerful, so cool. Mahito being evil and just unjustifiably evil and just disgusting. We all hate him. Like, he's so easy to hate, as he's so just dislikable with how he destroys human lives without any sort of thought or measurement. He just goes for it. He just destroys them and uses their souls as a way to manipulate them into barriers and to things that he's going to use to fight the Jujutsu Kaisen sorcerers. So I love that. I love that Itadori gets back up, stops being a pussy, and then fights Mahito as well. And he gets healed to be able to go out there and kick ass and take names. And not only does he use Black Flash on, like, just summon on will, and turns out to be an absolute badass. It's just like, bam. It was so cool.
Oh my god, he's so goddamn cool!
And in the latest episode where Todo gets, like, his hand cut off, like, he gets, like, obviously this is all spoilers, I'm so sorry, but, like, nonetheless, you are gonna love this. Like, if you haven't watched this is just so good. It's so good. It's so cool.
United! Stay Oh my god, he's so goddamn cool!
And then, like, Mahito, like, explodes out the floor, and then, like, just gets beaten the crap out of by Itadori and manages to get just on his knees, and the episode ends with Gato standing over him saying, "Do you want me to save you, Mahito?" And it's like, what? No way. Well, also, I'm assuming as well, questions to be answered in the next episode. Do you think Mai is dead? Because Mai was going one-on-one with Gato. So that means Gato is more powerful. Well, he is a special grade sorcerer, so maybe he did beat Mai without even thinking about it. Who knows? Obviously, it's not Gato. It's the brain thingy-majiggy, forgot his name. Kama, suck my dick, whatever his name is. Literally taking over Gato's body. So, you know, tick for tat. Anyway, to round it all up, Todo is so cool.
Oh my god, he's so goddamn cool!
The memes I've seen of him online on Instagram reels with him acting like from My Hero Academia, where he's like, I am plus ultra, and then play the soundtrack in the background where he's just like flying through the air with colours flying off him, and he's just like, I'm a god. It's so This is why I work out as well. I train hard so that I can be as cool as Todo.
Oh my God, he's so goddamn cool!
See, in my eyes, Todo is like the coolest person.
Oh my God, he's so goddamn cool!
But to other people, he's probably like not cool at all. This is the thing. This is the contrast. We all have a completely different idea of what cool is. Like, to me, characters like Todo are so ironically, like, they're obviously kind of silly, but they're also so cool in
oh my God, he's so goddamn cool!
In how they do things as well. So, you know, you take it with a pinch of salt. Like, most people are going to go, he's the guy who just looks at people and says, which girls do you like? And he destroys his brother because he likes Jennifer Lawrence. And it's like, yes, exactly. But anyway, Jujutsu Kaisen, an absolute masterclass of animation. I've talked about it many times. I will continue to say that I hope that the Mappa animators get their payday and all of the crew and staff around that get some time off, get some round of applause for them, and that the animation continues to be as amazing as it's been over the past 2 seasons, and round of applause again, even though they are the evil overlords of the Earth. Mappa, well done for putting out just insane content, because there is credit there. Credit where credit's due at the end of the day. Anyway, to end this podcast over the next few minutes or so, let's talk about Christmas. The next whole episode will be about Christmas, as usual, a yearly Christmas episode, which I love to do. And I just want to say, like, this time of year, I went down to a Christmas, like, they do Christmas trees and Christmas sort of, it's like a garden centre, but it gets transformed into Christmas, and it's nearby me, and I loved visiting it. And it was just so nice, get you in the Christmas spirit, having Christmas songs on while you're driving there in the car, and just being in that vibe, and just the feeling every year. I think there's something in me that says positivity brings more positivity.
Hate, double hate. Loathe entirely.
And so when it comes down to Christmas, which is the very embodiment of being, you know, positive and saying, this is the end of the year, well done, you got to the end, this is going to be a party time to spend with your friends and family, to enjoy time with them.
Even if I wanted to go, my schedule wouldn't allow it. 4 o'clock, wallow in self-pity. 4:30, stare into the abyss. 5 o'clock, solve world hunger. Tell no one. 5:30, jazzercise. 6:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. 7 o'clock, wrestle with my self-loathing. I'm booked.
To take some time off, to relax, but also to say, let's enjoy our time together. Because the older you get, the more you realise as well, you don't actually have forever with everybody. But this is the beautiful thing about being a human being, is that we get this wonderful period of time together, and that you get to spend time with your family, and you get to go see your friends, and you get to spend time listening to silly Christmas music and eating mince pies and going in to smell the beautiful fern Christmas trees, and you get to, you know, drink unlimited amounts of alcohol if that's your thing as well, like whatever you want to do. And you go on walks, and you go on, you know, it's cold and it's bitter, and you put on big jackets, and you get out, it's in the lovely crisp air, and you breathe it in, and you go, it's good to be alive. And that, if you can't say that, then you can take some tips from me. Here's a good way to enjoy your Christmas. Go bake yourself something nice, number 1. Get some good Christmas food down your gullet. Number 2, drink something silly. Go make yourself a cocktail, a beer, a mulled wine, hot cocoa, whatever gets you in the Christmas spirit. Put on some silly Christmas music, even if you hate Christmas music, because it will get you into the Christmassy feels. Light some candles, some spicy orange candles, for instance, that are going to give you that Christmas feels. And then also, finally, go find some people, even if you're on your own, go find people to be around. Go find a Christmas market to walk through. Go see that Christmas vibe. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, you're never alone. And Christmas is for everybody. Doesn't matter about religion, doesn't matter about life, doesn't matter about creed. Christmas is about you being grateful for one another and enjoying each other's company and giving to one another. This has been a Taylor's Tales podcast. This has been Chris's Corner. I've been your host, Chris Taylor. And as always, I hope to see you this time next week. Bye now.